right, we're back live at the University of Pretoria for the second half of wheelchair rugby action. IWF Asia Oceania Championships bronze medal game. New Zealand Wheel Blacks will take the inbound by the alternating possession. Maya Mai inbounds to Cameron Leslie. And back to Maya Mai. She takes it against Akianka one-on-one. And she'll take it to the hole for the easy score. That's her 5th goal of the game. And she leads the female scores. We have 3 females playing today. There's 2 on the court right now. Number 2 for South Africa. That's Landy Osterton. Akianka, young player who's been playing about 2 years and already playing in a international championship. Bodes well for South Africa going forward, having some youth. Victor Butenag has been around for a long time for South Africa. He goes to number 5. That's Benny Erasmus, the low pointer, who gets it back to Victor. Victor looking for a hole. Time's running out, 5 seconds, and he scores. With the shot clock running down, that's his 4th goal. Rob Hewitt, New Zealand low pointer, distributes to Maya Mai, and she'll take it in. And that's her 6th goal of the game. This is not her first international, but her first sanctioned international, first zone championship play. She suffered a horrendous burn. And is now the lone female for the New Zealand Wheel Blacks, and she hunts down Victor Butenang, turns him in to Robbie Hewitt, and Victor can't move very freely at all. He's in trouble, big trouble. His own player slams him from behind. He tries to follow that. New Zealand's got it covered very well. Phil Springs cuts him off. Victor's open now. 10 seconds left on the score clock. He's stuck on Leslie, ball's loose, and South Africa retains possession. But, however, the score clock is down to 5 seconds, so it's going to be very difficult for them to score. And Victor Butenang was stuck in the key area, that taped area in front of the goal cones. So he is called inbounder. Any player on court can call for inbounder. That gets him out of a predicament. And they've called timeout. They're trying to reset the clock to 15. Whenever they call a timeout from the court, when the score clock is under 15 seconds, it resets it back to 15. So with only a handful of seconds left, it was a pretty good move. Timeouts in this sport are really not used to discuss strategy or take a breather. They're used as to get out of predicaments. When a teammate can't get it in 10 seconds, can't get it over backcourt, over half court in 12 seconds. And in that case, when they couldn't score in 5 seconds from that point of the court. So they get another 10 now. So they got 15 seconds. Inbound to Akianka. Attacking the New Zealand defense. There's 2 in the key and 2 out. Cameron Leslie goes in. Phil Springs is pushed in. Landy Osterson from South Africa, female player, class 2. She had a nice corner block that allowed her teammate Akianka to score. New Zealand having some trouble now. Back to Maya Mai. She's going to take a long pass to Phil Springs. Low pointer in the front court, and they're going to swarm him. And he gives a nice outlet pass to Maya Mai. New Zealand leads 34-18. Akianka with the ball. Can't find anywhere to go. And Rob Hewitt has picked him from behind. And South Africa is going to have to use another timeout. They weren't going to get it over the half-court stripe in the 12 seconds, so they've called a timeout. They're going to talk about it, regroup, and 28 seconds remain on the 40-second clock. So that 12 seconds would have expired any time. It's the referee's judgment, referees count, but the 40-second clock is a good guideline to both teams when they know that they need to use a timeout, need to make that pass to beat that time limit. It's good defense by the New Zealand team. They've got 2 low point chairs. When I say low point chairs, you see the longer chairs with the long front ends. They're used for picking and holding, and it makes it very difficult for high pointers to get around, and they often get stuck on them. You see Phil Springs coming into the picture there, trying to block the inbounder and a low pointer. Here's Landy Otheson. Landy's in trouble. She gets it back to Victor Buitentang. He's a better ball handler. And Victor wheels into some trouble. Loses the handle. Gets a Doc Yonker. He mishandles it. Gets it back. Oh, he made it interesting, but he got the goal just inside the cone and even nudged it when his first 2 wheels got over. Any 2 wheels on the chair must touch across the line for it to be a goal. If they're over before it hits the cone, the goal is good. The back wheels are not wheels, they're anti-tip devices, casters, anti-tips, whichever you want to call them. Rob Hewitt going along to Mai. She's at the goal line, takes a hit and takes the ball in. That makes it 35-19. New Zealand Wheel Blacks with a big advantage over the home team, South African Wheelbox. Buitentang finds Anka. 3 New Zealand players converge on him and stop him. Then they break off, and he breaks off. And he finds Buitentang. And that 1-2 combination gets the goal. Victor Buitentang scores his 2nd goal of the second half, and he's got 5 goals on the day. Mai's got 5 goals in the second half of play. She's got 9 total, so she's getting up there in Dan Buckingham territory, who's on the bench with 11 goals. He might not see the floor again as they give some younger players, newer players, the opportunity to have a taste of this bronze medal action. The Asia-Oceania Zonal Championships is between the 4 teams that are here. There's some more teams in the zone that weren't able to make these championships. Victor Buitentang with a score on the corner. And we have a fallen player. Looked like he's trying to get through, and that low pointer might have actually taken him down, but the refs didn't see it. He gives a little gesture of a handshake, and he's still a little sympathetic because I think he knows that he put the player down. You never know how much sympathy's out there. When a low pointer puts down a high pointer, it's great pride when it's done legally. And when it's not, you'll usually get an apology from the low pointer. Here's Mai taking the inbound. Looks long to Cameron Leslie. And he dishes it out to Rob Hewitt, who gives a good angle. And he's got position, and he'll take it in. Buitentang can't get around front. And gets the goal. 37-21. New Zealand Wheel Blacks leading South Africa. And a South African score, the low pointer. Benny Erasmus scoring his first goal of the game here in the second half with 4 minutes and 9 seconds left in the third quarter. South Africa's defense trying to rally, but Mai's got a blocker in front of her. She'll easily outrun Erasmus. Cameron has to pass to Cameron Leslie. He'll dish it off to Phil Springs. Another low pointer is going to take it in, and they've called the penalty goal. I'm not sure what the penalty was. early goal was awarded, and it's South Africa ball. 38-22, New Zealand Wheel Blacks with the advantage. South Africa spreads the court well. Here's Landy Otheson. Landy Otheson going to try to take it in. A hit from behind, but she takes it in for the goal. And that's her second goal of the game, Landy Otheson. And the home crowd loves it. They often like seeing a low pointer score. Somebody who doesn't score very often, or the female player who scored her second. Cameron Leslie trying to take it in backwards. Any two wheels have to cross. And he backs it over for the goal. Much easier than him trying to turn it around. Bundang with the inbound. Looking for somebody. He's got Aki Anker with the ball. High pointer for South Africa. He's going to try to take it all the way. Should be able to beat the low pointer. He's got a block. Landy Otheson with the block. So his female teammate providing the block, ensuring him an easy score. Mai inbounds. Rob Hewitt. Rob Hewitt spins. Pushes a couple strokes. Up to Cameron Leslie, and he's going to take it in for a goal. Cameron Leslie putting pressure on Anker. Foul to Bundang. He was in trouble there. Lots of bodies around, but he hauled it in. Got the ball safe. 28 seconds are left on the score clock. He dishes it back to Aki Anker, the high pointer, the ball handler. He goes to the low pointer. It's going to be a foot race. Oh my, comes in, drives into his chair. He coughed it up. A great defensive play by my. The low pointer couldn't hold on to the ball, and it'll be New Zealand ball down in the corner. And we have a substitution. Victor Bundang coming off for South Africa. Johnny Sitar coming in. Dan Buckingham coming back into the game. And Shalto Taylor, the two veterans. Gavin Ralston, the low pointer, is in. They inbounded it a little too early. We had a South African player calling for equipment. He's the one that just entered the game, so it's odd that he would have an equipment issue as soon as he came in, but that's what happens in wheelchair rugby. You don't know what's wrong with your chair sometimes until you get out there pushing. And they do a quick wheel change, keeping the same axle and just switching out the wheel. And we have a contact warning in the meantime by South Africa. So a contact warning on South Africa. That's their first of the second half, and it looked like it was number 5, Benny Erasmus. Buckingham takes it over half court, runs into the back of Akiaka. Shalto Taylor with the score. 41-24, the Wheel Blacks dominating South Africa at this juncture. With Buckingham and Shalto Taylor back in, it's going to be very hard for South Africa to get any kind of rally going, any kind of comeback. It's been all New Zealand Wheel Blacks today. Erasmus tried to drive it in. Shalto Taylor reaches for it. Some desperation shots at the ball. Buckingham going for the ball, hit the arm. It was called a penalty goal. Wheel Blacks the ball into Shalto Taylor. He sees Buckingham spreading the court well. Buckingham will take it in for an easy goal. He's leading all scorers. That's his 12th goal, sorry. We were right the first time. Buckingham, that's his 13th goal, matching his number. Oh, going long to the low pointer. It's always a risk going on the long passes, especially to a low pointer who doesn't have the hand function to reel in balls or get the balls quickly. And it's good defense when you can do that. And Benny Erasmus is going to leave the game. Koos Jacobs, number 4, back in. Number 1, Jared McIntyre back in. That's Landy Osison out, Akianko back out. And first time entering the court is number 12, Enrico Avenant. Is making his debut in this bronze medal game. Haven't seen much of Enrico in the pool games, and I noticed yesterday he didn't even suit up. So there's been a bit of a bug going around in the camps, and Australia was hit hard by it. South Africa's had a couple players affected by it. New Zealand, Japan seems to be the only ones that have been free of things. And that's a goal for number 1, Jared McIntyre. That's his first goal of the second half, 6 on the game. Buckingham breaks free, and he's going to run it all the way. They're not going to get him. And he adds on to his goal tally, scoring his 14th goal, high score of the game. Koos Jacobs for South Africa inbounding. He goes long to McIntyre. McIntyre tries to go around Koos Jacobs, using him as a blocker. The low pointer, he can't get through. And now he does. He's running out of time, has to go, and Koos Jacobs gives him a target. He's got that one-handed push on a differential wheel that allows him to push both wheels. You see kind of 2 push rims on it, and you might see it spin a little bit. It's got a differential, so he can do it. It's a one-arm drive. Used to not be illegal in the game, but now is for players like him. And you see him make a one-handed catch. Nice how he stopped the ball. Oh, Enrico Avenant trying for his first goal. He mishandled it. New Zealand ball in the corner. So that long drive by South Africa, all for naught. And New Zealand will take the ball. 27 seconds left in the third quarter. New Zealand up 44-26, and Sholto Taylor makes it 45-26. New Zealand Wheel Blacks. Only 20 seconds remain in this quarter. Coming up in the fourth quarter, Dave Woods, international referee, refereed at the Paralympic Games. He'll be joining us in the booth, and he's going to be doing the final game between Australia and Japan also, so he'll be getting warmed up with us. And New Zealand winds down the clock, taking all but 4 seconds off. Buckingham goes over. South Africa only have 4 seconds to get it the length of the court. Ball is inbounded. They're not going to get it. They have nobody down by the goal area. And that will end the third period of play. New Zealand Wheel Blacks 46, South Africa 26 from Pretoria University in South Africa.